Hello, welcome to the Loose Leaf live stream number 3. We're continuing work on hand shadows inside of Loose Leaf to show off gestures and make it easy to make tutorial videos, things like that. You can see here, maybe hopefully this works. I've been kind of dicking around with it before the stream started. You can see the little shadow with the pinch gesture as it zooms in and out of the scrap. So we're going to keep working on that. We have gestures for, in the past 2 streams we worked on drawing for a single finger. We worked on pinch for a 2-finger gesture. And then we worked on a bezel gesture to come off to the side and pull new pages on, right? So today, what I would like to work on, yeah, it's broken a little bit. That's okay. So today what we're going to work on is pinching with the index finger and thumb. We have, like I said, we have the single finger drawing. We have 2-finger pan, and I really want a thumb. That's not a hand. My goodness. That's a beautiful hand. That's a thumb. That's an index finger. Those are knuckles. So we're going to work on that, where that guy pinches like that. It's going to look a lot better than that drawing. And let's get to it. So I've been doing a little bit of cleanup before the stream started today, which is nice. Phone going off. I did a little bit before the stream started, trying to make it work with, let me see if I can find a thing with 2, yeah, so this has 2 scraps. So here's that's my right hand with 2 fingers. And if I pick up this guy, that's my left hand. I got a left hand and a right hand with 2 fingers, so I got 2 hands on the page. They're backwards, but that's okay. So that's what I was working on before the stream to get it to show both hands appropriately. And I also set up the slider up here at the top that we're going to use to test the index and thumb gesture. So let's get started on that. What I started doing is I have, let me look here. Yeah, so what I did just to start, so we can play around with the path, is we've got a slider, and the slider's added to the window, so it's just on the top of the screen of everything. Whenever the slider changes, we're just going to pinch the left hand's gesture in and out. My goodness, my phone is texting like mad today. I'll turn it off in a minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this guy showing just a 2-finger pan initially, and then we're going to start working on the path to swap out the path. So let's see what it looks like just when we start it up from scratch. We should see that slider at the top, and then when we muck around with the slider, we should see a hand on the screen pinching with 2 fingers. Let's see if that's true. That's sort of true. That's true enough. That's the left hand we want. Yeah, that's okay. So right now that's the index finger up there, and then the middle finger here. This is going to be the thumb, so the left hand will actually be like that, right? So that's fine. Yeah, so now let's work on the path and get it matching the correct path. Instead of using 2 fingers, let's look at a thumb. Let's look at a thumb and an index finger. We're going to do... So we have a 2-finger helper. So this is what we want to do. Let's make a new helper. This is going to be a thumb and index helper. Let's make a new, these just extend object. Yeah, they do. Thumb and index helper as object. No, it's not a category. Did I choose the wrong thing? I want a new class. Yeah, I did the wrong thing. Thumb and index finger helper. Just call it thumb and index helper. Extends NS object. Congratulations. We're going to mimic this guy. So we're just going to copy all of his crap, and then we'll muck around with it and change it as we need it. Great. So now two finger. Oh, we called them shadows. We didn't call them helpers. Let's call it a shadow. Let's be a good person and make all of our stuff sound the same. Index shadow. There we go. Great. So now we have thumb and index shadow. Congratulations us. Let's create one. Thumb and index shadow. Init for right hand is right. Okay. And now in our helper methods, let's call that guy instead of the two finger pinch. We should end up seeing the same thing. But it should be calling inside of our new class. And so then when we swap the paths in our new class, it should do the right thing. Right? Okay. Compile. Bugs. Oh, because I didn't copy the includes. Let's do that. Alrighty, so now we should see the same thing. And so now we can start mucking around in paint code and get the going. Yeah, there we go. Now it's having a good time. Okay, so now I gotta restart it because we mucked something up. I'm gonna restart QuickTime too because it's having a bad day. All right, so now we have our guy. Yeah, so it shows the same two finger path that we have, which is great. Let's make sure it's calling into our new class like we think it is. It is not. Is it not? Start pinching, continue pinching. Continue panning. Oh, because I didn't launch it from the debugger. Because I'm dumb. Just make sure that it's doing what I think it's doing. And then we'll muck around in paint code. So far so good. Yeah. So now as I just hit the slider, it jumps into our new class. Okay, great. Okay, so now it's paint code time. So the paths we have in paint code that we're going to need. Last interpolated path. We have index finger and middle finger. So this is going to be, we're going to rename this. This is not the open middle finger path. This is the open thumb tip path. And this is the closed thumb. Don't lie to me. This is the closed thumb. Great. So we have open thumb, closed thumb, open to. I'm going to change this to 200 because in my, you'll see in paint code, my canvas is a bit different sized. Location index finger, last interpolated. So we're going to get rid of all the middle fingers. So this is going to be last interpolated thumb. I'm just renaming stuff from middle finger to thumb so it's clear what's going on. There we go. Open middle finger. Why did that not... That should have refactored when I refactored it the first time. Xcode. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Alright, we're just going to do it manually. Close thumb. Did that do what I wanted? Nope. I don't understand how find and replace all did not do the trick. Closed thumb tip path. Closed thumb tip path. I'll make sure I didn't do something stupid. Great, so it's not in there. Index and thumb. Okay, great. All right, so let's just save that and then we'll muck around with paths. Prepped for index and thumb. Great. Okay, so now we initialize paths. We have fingertips, and then we have the open and close paths. Okay, so in paint code, I got started just a little bit, and I gave us some canvas with the two paths that we're going to be working with. So these I got, I'll either put this in the description or I'll mention it when it's open source. I'll put it in the README. This is just vector hands that I got from a stock photo site for $1. So super cheap, but that's what we're going to be using. So here we go, canvas 5. I need a frame in here too. Did it not add the frame like I told it to? $200, $300, great. And now this path, I can tell it to match the frame. Great. Now we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to add in a frame. Yeah. 200, 300. Great. And then that guy can match the frame. Okay. So I feel like this guy's honestly pretty good. We might widen the thumb, but let's just get it working. So now they're the same hand, they're both left-handed. Right? Is that what we want? That's left, left, right. That's fine. And now I want to rotate this so the thumb is more horizontal, so everything's more horizontal. So let's do that. I think what we're going to do, we're going to make 2 paths. Oh yeah, let's do that. Rectangle. So I'm going to use the square as a mask, and we're going to clip. We're going to clip the hands. No, not that. I only want to move the rectangles. We're going to clip the hands to the square. So we take these two and we say intersection, right? And we take these two and we say difference. Great. So now I have a path for the top and a path for the bottom. So now this guy I can rotate somehow. Canvas tools. Am I crazy? Where's my rotate button? That's what I want. So I want to do that, right? Where that's my hand. Almost like that. Is that crazy? Does that look bad? How bad does that look? I'm looking at my hand. If you can't see my hand, I'm trying to imagine where the wrist would kind of turn and look. Okay, let's do that. And now we will merge these like that. Like that. Man, that looks ugly. Yeah, looks like he's got a broken wrist. That's amazing. That's less ugly, do you think? That's okay. That's good enough. We're just going to go with that. And we'll probably change the path later. But that's the nice thing, is we can fix all that crap later. So here is the blue dot for the thumb. This is the open thumb tip. This is the open index finger tip. Did it paste in there? There we go. This is the closed index finger tip. And this is the closed thumb tip, right? Closed thumb tip. Okay, that's fine. So the other thing that we need to do is when I interpolate between the paths right now, I require that they're the same number of points and even the same type of points or path elements, like it's a move to and then a line and then curve and then a curve, then a line and then a curve, whatever. So we need to do that. So this guy is open, what do we call it? Open index thumb. Just open path. Okay, open path. That's fine. Open path, path. Here we go. Open path. And this is closed path. Okay, so they're all named the correct thing. So one thing we can do, I'm just going to copy this in. Open. Here we go. And this is the closed. Closed goes here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the paths in just as they are, and so that's index fingertip. Here we go, open index fingertip, and we can use the diff to see what needs changing. Okay, open index fingertip. Open thumb tip. And then we'll come over here. Closed index fingertip. What are two closed thumb tip paths? Closed index fingertip and closed thumb tip. Right. So now what we can do, this might not be the best, most efficient way to do it, but I feel like it'll work. So now we can come in here. We're going to temporarily rename this guy open. We're going to go here and swap it for the open path. Swap it for the open path, and now we can diff. Now we can diff, and we can see, ideally, those are the only things that will highlight, right? If a whole line highlights, then that means we have a new path element in there. So let's zoom up to the top. We'll get rid of this guy so we can see it a little bit more. Or if like that guy changes, then that means it's changed from a curve to a move or to a line or something like that. So we can just scan through really quickly and make sure that we have the same types of elements and the same number of elements. So this guy's different, right? He's probably a curve. Yeah, he's a curve instead of a line. That's one element different. We'll come back to him in a minute. And then is that it? Is it literally just one thing? That'd be wonderful. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. What line number did we start on? 178 to 219. 178 to 219. 178 to 218 is 40, so that's 41, right? For the closed path, and the open path is 134, so 41 from that is 175. 175, yeah, they are the same number. That's amazing. Okay, so the only thing we need to do then is change, I think it was that guy. It was one of the lines. Let's figure out which line it was. Man, that's good luck. We don't have to add in a bunch of, we don't have to add in any elements. Wait, maybe I'm doing that wrong, because here's an add line. Move, add curve, move, add line, add curve. Yeah, so I'm a liar. There is more stuff to fix. That's too bad. So there's one element different. Is that the only one so far? Am I missing anything else? Curve. They're all adding curves, which is great. You know what I should do is I should just go in and make them all curves no matter what. Let's just do that. So this guy, oh, let's just change this guy's name back to closed, by the way, before I forget. Okay, so this guy has a line right at the beginning. Oh, Oh, you know what it is? This guy has two lines. Do they have the same number of lines? Because these right here should be points. They shouldn't be curves. So this guy has 2. I bet the other guy has 2. Which means 1, 2. Yeah, this guy has 2 as well. Okay, so that means that they start at different points, and that happens because we did the union on the closed path. Okay, so move to point. It starts at 0.42, 0.8. Yeah, so this guy right here is the start of the other curve. That's interesting. Okay, so then when that happens, if we let's just pretend we started here and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the next line is the 7th. Here we get a lot more until the next line. Is that only... That's a curve, that's a curve, that's a curve, 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 it's a line, it's a curve. Is there a way to switch between points, to cycle between points in paint code? If there is, I don't know it. That's a curve, 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 curve. I want only that one line 2 point. I don't want a bunch of other line 2 points. If we can do just one, then that way we can just manually modify the path. Is that it? That might be it. Does that feel right? So that's, let's pretend it's that guy. Right, so if I do make point, Move point and open path. Oh, interesting. That's new. Make point round. Yeah, now that guy's gone. Look at us. We are the best. There we go, right? This is the ugliest knuckle in the world. Okay. Right, so now we have just one line 2, which is great, right after the move. Oh no, we have another one. We have another one. I only want one. Is it you? We have another one? How many of these do we have? There. Curved, curved, curved. Here a line. There we go. Hot tamale. They're everywhere. Here we go. Here we go. Now, there we go. Okay. Now we're in a good place. So we have one line 2. Everything else is curves. Great. And now over here, we're going to do the same thing. The only line 2 we want is this guy, where he starts at 43. Because this guy starts at basically 43, right? They're about in the same place. So this line 2 from here to here, or from here to here, whatever it is, that's the only line we want, and then that way we can line up our paths on that. So this guy has another 1, 2, another 2, right? And that's from backwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right there, roughly. Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Maybe I counted wrong. Okay, your curve. I might have been going the wrong direction. Here's one. Great. So we're going to make you round. Congratulations. And now so your curve. Yeah, your curve, your line. Right, did we do it? So we still have one somewhere, but we fixed the other ones. Yeah, make point sharp. That's fine. Actually, that might be you. No, it wasn't. There's one. Curve. Yeah, it's you. Make point round. And you. We should have another one somewhere. I bet it's you. It is. Point round. We're just going to move the control points like that, so it's still sharp. Did I do it? This is point round. Still sharp. Where's that last line? Where is it? Where is it? Is that it? No. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. That's the line we care about. That's the only one we want. So that one's 53, that one's 43. This one has one at 43, and yeah, that's fine. It's a quad. Okay. Yeah, so it's this guy. So now we have one just at the 53, and this guy is at, did I do the wrong one? Man, I feel like I did the wrong one. It's at 13. I'll line these up so the base of the hands is roughly at the same spot. We have one at 27, one at 37. And this line okay, we're just gonna go with it and just see what happens. That's fine. It's experiment time. Enough of this. Okay, so here's our open path. It is experiment time. Here's our open path, and then over here is our closed path. Yep. Now the closed path we're going to have to muck around with to make sure it lines up the add line at point correctly. So move to, yeah, that's where it curves to, right? Okay, so the open starts with the line 2. Move to line 2. Closed path, we want, where's its add line? There we go. Closed path, move to point, and we're going to keep this guy. And then this top half of the path, we're going to move down to the bottom. And now we're just going to see what happens. I'm very curious. Okay, so in theory, the running theory is that we'll have an index finger and a thumb when it's fully open, like an L, and then when we fully close, it'll look like it's pinching. There's a very real possibility it'll look like a mess in between, but let's just find out. Yeah. So we got something wrong. Our paths are not the same. So open element and closed element are different types. You're a type of closed subpath and you're a curve. I thought we had the same. $177 to $129. $129 to $177 is $129, $177. It's 48, right? So it's 48 lines long. Wait, no, I'm measuring from the wrong place. 134 to 177 is 43. So 43 should be 223. Yeah, I'm missing two elements. So here's what we're going to do. Add curved point. This is a pretty ugly way of doing this, I'm not going to lie. Control point. We're just going to duplicate that ending point. Let's see if we're in the ballpark and line them up correctly. Okay, it's where am I applying a transform? That means one of these. Yeah, damn it. Damn it. Okay, let's try again. We're so close. Closed path. Actually, let's go ahead and add in the extra elements right now. We'll put them right there and right there. Now they're the same. Now they're the same size, same number of elements. Closed path. Closed path, and now we need to, the line 2 should be the second element, right? Yeah, move 2 in line 2. Okie doke. Where did it go? Okay. Oh, I did it wrong. Need to add the move 2 point that matches this guy. There we go. That way when this guy ends the path, he'll match up with the start of the path. So now I can move this section of the path to to the end. I'm scrolling like a madman. It's ridiculous. Okay, there we go. Let me kill that guy. Now we come down here and add our curves. They should be the same size, in the same order, with the same types, roughly the same points, potentially in the same order. Let's see what happens. Okay, here we go. Now we've done it. So now we should see the index finger thumb L shape. Oh my goodness, that's awful. That's truly awful. Are some of these... Golly, damn it. Those 2 new points that I added, they didn't. It's frustrating. Okay, one more time. They didn't move with the frame correctly, so the whole path looked like crap. Okay. Now we do the same thing again. We move the top of the path. This path move to point. And the point we move to is this guy. And we move this piece of the path down to the bottom. Okay, there we go. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move it a little further into the view. So the index finger, I'm going to make it 400 and 700 and 200. Let's do that. Right? We feel good about that? I think that'll make it a little bit further on screen. Okay, now let's see what happens. Okay, we should see the L shape. That's the ugliest pinch in the world. Okay. Alright. And it really doesn't like the transform that I'm making. Oh, is that a bad... What transform am I asking it to make here? Oh, theta is not a number. I just want to not crash for now. Okay. What I have to do is crap, because it's getting points out of order, and it looks really, really bad. I mean, where is that point going? Look at that. Yeah, okay, now let's just do this. Let's just do this. This is getting ridiculous. New canvas. 300. Semi-black, stroke black, just so we can see it. Canvas, flip. And now we're going to add a frame. 200, 300. That you are closed path. Do the right thing. This is closed index finger. This is closed thumb. I should have done this first. I should have just proven to myself that this is the correct correct way to go. Yeah, and that. Yeah, okay. So those are correct. Okay. I should have proven that these are the same length and the same based off the same control points in the same order and all that kind of crap. Close thumb. Close thumb tip path. Wait, no, that's this guy. And then close thumb tip. Okay, that's what I really should have done just to begin with. Let's see what that looks like. That's a lot. It's a lot easier. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Let's see what happens. Nope. They're not the same size. Okay, that's fine. So how different are they? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, you know what the other thing we can do? Is that because they were not the same size, or because they were different path elements, like a curve versus a line? If it's a curve versus a line, then we can just fix that. It's not a big deal. But if it's I can just make my interpolation method a little bit more smart. So let's look. Yeah, it is a close-up path. Yeah, so they are different. So log open length. Oops, open path count. Close path. Let's see how different they are. We'll number the elements too and just show their number on screen, so it'll be a little bit easier to debug what yeah, 43 to 37. So there's six different. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to open up a different Rocket example. I think that's what I want. So let's go up here. This is just a canvas that will draw a path. That's all it does. Scissor path. Shape path. Oh, you know what? It's on a different Graph paths for open and closed. Check out edge. Okay, here we go. Okay, so draw shape and direction. This is what we want. And we're going to call open path. And now we come down here and we're going to go here. Open path. Open path. What does with markers do? I don't remember. Oh, yeah, we do want that. Okay. So what I think this will do, if I remember my old code right, is this is just going to open up a blank white app that draws the path on the screen and also numbers the elements on the screen around the path. And that'll be helpful because then on the we can screenshot the open and screenshot the closed paths and compare the numbers as it loops around the path. Oh, I don't want to run loose leaf. I want to run draw code example. CG rect frame. I cannot type. Started at 150. It'll be width of 400 and height of 600. Right? Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Okay. Now let's see what that does. I think this is going to do what I want it to do. It's just going to show the path outlined with some numbers. Great. That's pretty great. Let's make it larger. 50, 50, 600, and 900. This is what we should have done. Yeah. That's way better to see what's going on. So then we can kind of make sure that the closed path, the numbers line up in a very similar way. So let's just save that guy. And then here, the closed path, we're going to do the same thing. And the closed path, there we go. Closed path. Let's do the same thing. And now we should see very obviously which elements are missing and what direction things are going. Yeah, they start at completely different places. Excuse me. Is that the correct? That was the wrong one. We wanted this one. Because the one we just did was the one where we created with a union. I need to just delete that because that. There we go. Now let's see what's going on. This one won't be rotated, but it'll. Great. So now things look same. So we can open up this guy. And we can open up this guy. I want to open on the left. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we should see. So at 35, for instance, that guy right there is element 35, and that's the end of this path. So 35, we really want to be up here. So at 4 is the bottom of the wrist. 4, that's kind of the bottom of the wrist. 10 is the start of the left knuckle. Yep, 10 is the start of the left knuckle. And this, I think, is where we've got like 6 more elements that we don't have here, because this guy only shows 1 knuckle instead of 3, right? Because the index finger should really start at number 17. So between here and here, we just need to add a bunch of elements. So that way, these elements, as it interpolates between the path, will merge into these elements. Right? So we want 41, we need 6 more elements to go inside of there. Yeah. I'm just gonna delete this guy. This guy's wrong. We're not gonna care about him anymore. Okay. So for knuckles, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's do those 6 and see how it goes, right? So now they should be the same. Now they should be the same length. Let's prove that to ourselves. Closed path. Closed path. So we'll kill that guy and look at our preview. Oh, damn it. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so those elements that I added, it's really frustrating. They weren't auto resize to frame, auto fit to frame, which boggles my mind that it doesn't just match whatever the rest of the path is, but that's fine. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about my problems. Let's go up here. Now it should look like a real life path. Right? There we go. So that ends at 41, ends at 41. 30 is tip of the thumb. 30 is tip of the thumb. 20 is tip of the index finger. 20 is tip of the index finger. 26 is in between. That's kind of actually the middle knuckle of the middle finger, but whatever, that's the correct place for it. These are all the knuckles. 5 is the wrist. Yeah, that feels good. All right. Okay, let's do that. So now we take this closed path. So now the only problems we should have is where is my... It's not there. That's fine. Now the only problems we should have is lines versus curves. Stack. Oh, that's why. Because I'm on a different. Check out stream. Here we go. Update. There we go. There we go. Great. Congratulations, us. Now we go over here. Stack hand shadow, and we're going to put in the new path for the new closed path. Here we go. So that's the closed path. Copy. Closed path. Close there. And we're also going to look at the fingertips. I don't remember if I fixed those or not. So let's just make sure that we did. So that is the index fingertip. This is the this is the thumb tip. Okay, so now we should be in a good place. It might crash because of line versus curve, but we at least know that all our points are lining up and they're in the correct place, which is the big deal. Yeah. So let's just kill you. It's fine. Go, computer, go. Okay, so this should show a slider at the top of the screen. It should show, as we move the slider, it should pinch mostly naturally from an L-shaped index and thumb to a pinched index and thumb. It might crash if one of the paths has a line and one has a curve. And that's okay, because we'll fix that in our interpolation method. All right. Here we go. Look at that. It swaps because of the angle. But that looks surprisingly good. We actually want, like here, that looks kind of awkward around the knuckles, you know, because all the knuckles are getting squished into that top left knuckle, and we really want that pinky knuckle to be sliding down the wrist as the wrist turns, I think. That's amazing. Okay, great. Yeah, right? Pinch, pinch. Yeah, okay, great. Very good job. Middle index finger. XY, XY. See, it should. I don't actually know why it flips there, but it doesn't matter. We're not going to care about it right now. Let's look here, and let's move some of these further down so that they actually kind of slide. So they slide a little bit as it let's try that. Curved path, closed path. And then after this, after we get the path looking sort of right, then we can swap it in and actually start using it in our gestures, which would be pretty great. Okay, let's see how we do. That's a lot better. That pinky still looks pretty odd right there. It's got a little pimple on it. You see that? But that's much better. You should think. Is that guy? I feel like it might be that guy. So let's add him right there. And now let's see what happens like that, right? Let's fix the curve. Okay, here we go. I think that's the guy that we want right there. Okay, I think that's what we want. Okay, now it should actually, now I feel like it'll look really nice as it slides between the two shadows. Let's prove that. I think the pimple is gone. Well, yeah, that's actually, yeah, that is better, right? It flips, but we don't care about the flip right now. We'll fix the flip when we merge it into the gesture. That's pretty good. I like it. And look how cool it is. Pinch, pinch. Okay, great. Open, close, path for index, thumb are done. Right, so now the next thing is to actually use that as part of a gesture. So let's turn the slider off. So the slider is dead, and you're dead, and you're dead. And now the shadow hand, the methods are, we're going to calculate the distance ourselves because we're sending real touches. That was just debug crap. That. Continue pinching. That was debug. This was debug. Okay, great, right? Continue pinching. Okay, now we're in a good place. We can even turn these back on because we will send it correct things. So now we're going to do start pinching, continue pinching, and end pitching when in pan, start drawing. We're actually going to do that here. We're just going to do left hand, start pinching object with touches. Left hand, continue pinching object, touches. And now end, we're going to left hand and pinching object. Right? Okay, so now we will not have the 2-finger pan. We're only going to have a thumb and index finger pan when we move crap around. And hopefully the thumb and index will line up. No idea if this is going to work. Yeah, look at that. I mean, it kind of works. Right, so you see it on a blank page. Look at that. The angle is backwards. But that's pretty great. I like that. That is because we're finding the wrong index finger. The index finger is always on top, and we're looking for the index finger to always be on the left. So we're going to continue pinch, index finger touch. If we're not the right hand, so if we're the left hand, and our Y is less than our current Y, then we switch. Otherwise, if we're the right hand, this doesn't even matter because the right and left hand are going to act the same. The index finger is always higher up on the screen. And then the thumb, continue pinch. Yeah, so this really we should call this a thumb touch. Thumb touch is always lower on the screen. There we go. Now let's try that. Now it should look a little bit better. Okay, so now it should show when we pinch the page, the index and thumb should be oriented. Right? That's pretty good. Start to pinch. It's not too bad. What I think I'd like to do, honestly, is let this guy be wider. Open up so it's not just yeah, he should be able to be just slightly wider. Oh my goodness. Like that, right? So it's just a little bit. Wow, now he looks ridiculous. Let's move him in a little bit. Is that okay? Does that feel okay? Does that feel awkward? Feels a little bit awkward. There, let's do that. So there we go. So the open path changed a little bit. And the thumb location changed a little bit. There we go. And then the open thumb tip. This guy. Open thumb tip. Yeah, that guy right there. Okay. Here we go. So now I believe yeah, because they okay. So that should line up. That should do okay. That'll make it a little. Beyond the scope is to look at the points per inch of the screen and try to scale the hand to a real human hand size. That'd be funny. There we go. Okay, and the other thing we can do is take this guy. I'll move these further down. Like that. And then I'd like to move this so it's a closer pinch than it is now. I don't know if that's going to be much better. I'd like to even go thinner than that. If we can, without looking too ridiculous. Yeah, that's my issue right there. Go. Does that look okay? It's a little thinner in, right? That thumb looks pretty awkward now, right here. Is that a little better? Is that a little bit less awkward or equally awkward? Yeah, or no? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So the closed thumb tip path. Right here. Closed index finger path. Here. And the actual closed path. Here. Okay. Let's see if that gives us a little bit closer pinch. I feel like it was just too wide before. Doesn't necessarily match. Is it matching? Now the fingers aren't actually lining up with my touch points like they should. I wonder why. So you can see the blue flashes of light. They're offset. The rotation is offset. Everything is offset. Like that. With my headphones. I wonder. Why? What's going on there? It should just work, quote unquote. But it's not. There's something around y-axis. So we don't even deal with that yet. So initialize the paths, that's fine. Set finger distance. Close thumb to close thumb. Well, that's not going to be very helpful. Close index finger. That would be a problem. That's probably wrong too. Magic numbers in code aren't the best in the world, but let's just see what that does, because now we're actually calculating the distance of the closed path correctly. And so I bet that was part of the problem. Let's figure out the rest of the problem. I gotta fix this real quick too, sorry. Apologies. There we go. Let's get, I want a, so now the thumb, yeah, there. Now they're lined up correctly, basically. And when I pinch really low, they're not. I wonder why. Let's do a different magic number. Let's do a different magic number. Okay, right? I'm just going to cut a scrap out. When I get really low, when I have the pinch wide, it the touches line up pretty good, but when I pinch small, the touches don't quite line up anymore with what's actually on screen. So now here, yeah. Okay, here's what I want. Set finger distance. Who calls set finger distance? Nobody calls? She lied to me. Distance between points. So that's the physical distance between my two touch points, right? So we go here, so open distance. I'm calculating this wrong. I think I want this. I think this is my problem. Right? That way, as I get to my closed distance, this becomes 0, which means it will be fully closed. And as I get to my open distance, this guy will equal this guy, which will mean this whole thing will be 1, which is what I want. And that's why you don't use magic numbers. Okay, now let's show the screen. So now the pinch should line up with my fingers much better than it was. Yeah, that lines up a lot better. Although the rotation is off here, which is interesting. So when I'm pinched wide, there, my finger, my touch location of the finger is correct. And then here, you know what I should do? Maybe I should turn back on the blue dots. How do I? No, come on. Touch dot view. Yeah, okay. I think this I should have done this a long time ago. So this is going to this will show a blue dot where my touches actually are, like physically on screen, and then we can see how off they are in a very obvious way. So there we go. So now you can see my touch locations are really pretty good. And as I pinch, the distance is correct, but the alignment is off. Both the, oh, and you know why? It's both the angle and, yeah. Okay. So the angle is off, right? So you can see the angle between the two blue dots is a little bit taller than the angle between the thumb and the index finger. So even if my index finger lined up perfectly with this guy, with that top blue dot, the thumb would still be off. It'd be a little bit off to the right, right? So the angle is wrong and the alignment is wrong. And I think that's because it only calculates that offset. Well, the offset it should be calculating correctly. Last interpolated finger, it should be calculating that guy correctly. And the theta, last interpolated thumb. So this is wrong here. What are you created? Thumb tip. Yeah, so this is the angle between the index finger and the thumb. I want to just log this and see what the value is. Finger angle. This is really an interpolated angle, not initial angle. Okay. Let's see what that is, and we can also do This is going to be open angle, and this is going to be closed angle, right? So this is going to be open index fingertip path and open thumb tip path, and this is going to be closed index finger path. Damn it, okay. Put those in the... Oh, that's actually, we can just do dot center and dot center, because we only care about the angle, we don't care about the actual coordinates. And then here dot center, and here dot center, right? So now here's our theta, and we have open theta is there and closed theta is there. Open angle. Flip. That closed angle. That angle and theta. I'm going to move theta to the end. Okay, let's see what those values are, because the value is right now it's not the actual what closed thumb tip path. There we go. Because the actual path like that has like a 45, and this is much flatter, and it's not taking that angle change into account as I pinch. I think it's keeping this angle gesture. If that makes sense. So if this was a 45, when my touches are actually a 45, it's showing this lined up here instead of showing this rotated a little bit. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, let's try this. I'm out of coffee. Okay, so here we go. So then as we pinch, see my angle's at my blue angle, my blue dots are at like a 45-ish. But my path looks exactly like in paint code. And so as I rotate, it's rotating correctly, but it should have rotated extra because of the pinch itself. So it only lines up here, and as I pinch, as that angle changes, it gets off center. It needs additional rotation to happen. I think that's the issue, right? Okay, so let's kill that guy. Let's get this. Let's actually watch the logs a little bit and see what happens as I pinch. So here I am, wide open, theta 218 to 207. See, it should be, as I pinch, it should be going down. Theta should be going down to in between open and closed, and it's not. Okay. So the interpolated angle is not theta, and so now we want, so this has the open to percentage, right? Yeah, open percent. So now theta, we also want to take into account open percent times open angle minus closed angle. Oops. Right? We probably want it to subtract that much, right? Oops. CG float, open theta. CG float, close theta. Yeah, we have closed angle by angle. Let's be closed theta. Come on, autocomplete. Open theta and close theta. Okay, so now we should see that rotation happen. Let's put a breakpoint there. I don't think that guy's gonna happen anymore. So now let's watch the logs. I think that's what we need. Start the app. Theta 218. So now it's rotating extra. It's backwards. I'm rotating extra here and not any extra here instead of the opposite. Am I up anymore? So now it's correct, but it's not. But it's not lining up to the index finger correctly. Why isn't it lining up to the index finger correctly? Last interpolated index finger. Where am I calculating this guy? Open to. That would do it. I'm using the thumb in places I should not be. Open thumb to open index, closed thumb to close index. Closed index. Yeah, okay. There we go. So now that guy was causing me all kinds of grief. That was another big reason. That might have been the only reason, honestly. Maybe I don't even need, but let's find out. So now the thumb, it might be because I might not need that anymore. That might have been the only issue. Do we think? Is that what we're going to think about? think my stream is down. Yeah, I didn't need that. Look at that. So as we, there we go, as we scale this guy, it pinches correctly. Awesome. Awesome. It lines up. That looks pretty good. The knuckles look pretty good as it zooms in. That looks okay, right? That's exciting. Cool. Cool. Let's save that. Great. First pass at index thumb pinch. Okay, so now we don't actually need any of that crap. Awesome. So now what we can, I think, honestly, I still got 10 minutes, but I think I'm probably going to call the stream there. I'm pretty happy with that. Look at that. Looks awesome. Oh, let's try this real quick. Let's try it real quick. Let's try before we end the stream. Let's try it with the right hand, because that is the left hand. We want to make sure the right hand looks equally amazing. Right hand. Right hand. Oops. Yeah. Right hand, right hand, right hand. Okay, let's try that. That'll be exciting if that works. I feel good about it. I would play those numbers. Okay, here we go. Right hand. The app is running. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Looks pretty good. It's pretty good. I might actually make the shadow a little larger. So that way for these pinches where the line is too big over here, that it would still be able to do it. But anyway, yeah, I feel pretty good. Good job. Okay, so there we go. So we have an index. We have an index pinch going on right there with the index and thumb. I'm going to clean it up a little bit off stream. I'm going to try to get it so it automatically figures like if your angle is steep like that, then it's going to use the index and thumb for that one. And if your angle is pretty shallow, then it would use the two finger pan. Looks beautiful. Okay. Anyways, that's it, guys. Thank you for coming out. It's a fun stream, and we'll do it again next week. So subscribe, or you can get reminders if you click the link down in the description. And we'll continue our work. And hopefully by next stream, if I get this cleaned up, I will have a GitHub link for you, and you can check it out and add it to your projects. It'll be pretty great. Thanks, guys, and I will see you next week.